Hi, I'm Andy Satterlund for Tuts Plus, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to work short rows using the wrap and turn technique. Wrap and turn is abbreviated W&T, and to work that we're going to knit part of the way across a row, and then we're going to wrap the next stitch on our needle and turn our work without finishing the row. A short row is shorter than a normal row, like the name would suggest, and it's used to add shaping. And if we just turned our work without doing the wrap step, it would leave a hole in our knitting, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is knit to the point where we're ready for a short row. Here you can see a short row I worked earlier, and this has been wrapped with the wrap left, and it leaves this little ridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip this stitch purlwise so it's not twisted on our needle. We're going to bring the yarn around, and then we're just going to slip that stitch back, and the yarn is trapped, creating the wrap. And now we're going to turn our work, which is the turn part of the wrap and turn. And we're going to bring our yarn to the position we need it to purl, because we're purling now. And we're just going to purl across to where we are ready for our next short row, which is going to be a purlwise short row. So here we are ready for our next short row. Yarn's still held in the front because we were purling, and we're going to slip this stitch like we did before. We're going to bring the yarn around. This time it's going to the back because we were purling. And we're going to slip the stitch back, making sure not to twist it, and here our yarn is trapped again, and we can turn our work. And we're going to end up with our yarn in the back because now we are knitting again. And we're just going to knit over, and I will show you how to work a knitwise wrap and turn again. We are working our short rows from longest to shortest, which the style of doing that just really depends on what look you want and what pattern you're doing. So here we are for our next wrap and turn. I'm going to slip it, bring the yarn around, slip that stitch back, trapping the yarn, and turn our work. And then we're going to purl. So now we're going to work another purlwise short row wrap and turn. We're going to slip this stitch, bring the yarn around, and slip it back, trapping the yarn. And now we have our wraps and our short rows, and we could leave the wraps as they are. This will close off any possible holes, but the wraps will be visible down here. I've done the same short rows I've done now, but I left the wraps in place. So when I went to knit the next row, I would knit the stitch as normal. So I would just work into the stitch, and this wrap would remain visible. But in many instances you want your short rows to be as invisible as possible. So what we're going to do is I'm going to insert my needle through the wrap and through the stitch. And I'm going to adjust to make sure everything's where it should be, and knit them together, and my wrap slips to the back of my knitting. And you can't see it from the front, so I will show you that again on the next wrap. So here's our wrap. We're going to go up through the wrap and then through the knit stitch and knit those two together. And there we are. So we've knit our way across the right side row, and now we're working our way on the back side row to pick up these wraps. And so we're just going to purl our way there. And then when we reach this wrap, we're going to go from the front of our knitting, we're going to go up through the wrap, bring it onto our needle, and then purl it together with the stitch it's wrapped around, and that will push your wrap to the back side instead of having it show up on the front. So I'll show you that on the next wrapped purlwise stitch. So up through the front of the wrap, back onto the needle, through both the wrap and the wrapped stitch, And there you are. And then we just go back to working as normal. And there we have a few different sets of short rows, and as you can see, it's making a cup-like shape. And this is a popular way to shape heels. You can see it looks a little bit like a heel. And it's also used to do seamless sleeve caps and bust shaping for larger sizes. Short rows are a really valuable technique.